God bless everyone. I just want to thank Ms. Evie Parks for this opportunity to be here. What a privilege. And it's my birthday, and when she asked me, she said February 5th, and I didn't hesitate, because what a beautiful way to spend and celebrate life. And to hear somebody like a Grace Miracle, I don't even call it Grace Medical, I call it Grace Miracle. And so for me, Grace Medical has really just been such a blessing to our lives. I include my wonderful husband that's here and my children. And just, I was asked to come and just share a little bit of my story, which is I love doing, because I think God just orders things in such a way that we don't understand it in the moment, and it's okay, because all we have to do is just follow a little bit of the light that's in front of us, and He gives us the whole picture. I don't think we depend on Him as much. And so this is my story. My husband and I are actually pastors of a church here in Orlando, and in March, in the middle of March, we just felt the calling to just go into full-time ministry. So we decided, my husband was in the banking industry, and he said, you know, I really feel in March, why don't I just step down and resign, and we can go into full-time ministry. And so that was our plan, and so at the end of March, our insurance was going to be canceled out. And April 4th, I found a lump in my breast. And didn't have any insurance, did not know where to go, and my cousin actually works in the medical field. She said, there's a place called Grace Medical, and I want you to see if you can possibly go there and they can help you out. And I looked it up on the internet, had my husband print out all of the patient information. I said, let's just go straight over there. And as I'm in the car, I'm filling out all of the paperwork. I walk into Grace Medical with all the paperwork in my hand, walk up to the front desk and say, I just want to register as a new patient. And to my surprise, there was a waiting list of about over 200 people. And they said we actually had to freeze the patients that were coming. We freeze the list. We can't accept any new patients. My heart just sank. And I thought, well, is there anything anywhere else that you can refer me to? Right in that exact moment, there was a gentleman standing in the back of the front desk. He was overhearing. And he said to me, well, what kind of help do you need? I said, well, I think I just need somewhere that I can get a mammogram. He said, why don't you come to the back office with me? And his name is Mr. Jonathan Lyne. Takes me back to the back office where he was at, and he says, you know, he began to listen to me. But the most amazing thing happened. He said, can I pray with you? And that's exactly what I need. I mean, I need medical care, but for somebody to sit with you and to pray with you, that was so comforting. And he grabbed my hands and he began to pray. It was such a simple prayer. But that for me just made it feel like everything was going to be okay. And after that prayer, he said, I'm going to do everything that I can so that we can get you the help that you need. And he said, bring me all your information by tomorrow, and I'm going to see if I can just push you through to the top. And I did that, and he actually got me right to the top of the list. That's for the grace of God. I was at that top of that list. They got me the help that I needed. I actually went in for a mammogram and an ultrasound, and they found out it was stage 2 breast cancer, which baffled me because I have no history of that on either side of my family. So it was a whole new experience for me. That was a moment that marked me. Grace Medical was that bridge for me to get the help that I needed, and the time that I needed it. And my family was so grateful. He actually got the kids and registered as patients as well. And I think when I hear about the whole missions week that you're celebrating here, this is so part of that. Just taking the time to help out one person is helping out their whole family. Is helping out so many people. Yesterday, precisely, as I was at a store, one of the women that was actually checking me out in the register began to ask me questions. And she says, I have no insurance right now. And she says, I actually have a lump in my breast, and I don't know what to do. And I referred her to Grace Medical because I told her this place helped me when I had nowhere else to turn. I did not know what I was going to do. Grace Medical was able to point me in the right direction. They got me the help that I needed, and they were able to just take me under their wing I referred her, and hopefully she's going to look into it. But this is what, if it's just one voice that I tell you that I spoke to yesterday, can you imagine how many other people are leaving their health on the back burner because they don't have the financial capability to seek that extra help? If I would have walked out that day from Grace Medical and didn't have anywhere else to go, I would not have taken that situation seriously. I would have said, you know what, it's probably just a cyst, and I'm not going to worry about it. And I would have let it just linger on. But because God is so good, Jonathan actually told me, like about a couple of months later, he said, I wasn't even supposed to be standing there. I was supposed to be in a meeting. And I was there that day. And he said, when I saw you, the Spirit of God spoke to me and said, do not let her walk out of that door. That shook me. Because to think that God would just look at you and favor you, to say that, was so amazing. So Grace Medical is like the eye of God that's just watching to see who he can help. And you become those eyes. You know, when I look at it, my faith, and it's a quote, faith begins as an experiment and becomes an experience. And we experiment sometimes with the things that, well, Grace Medical started off as an experiment. Nobody knew what was going to happen with that facility, or how far it was going to reach, or what families or what individuals it would touch. And it started off as a great experiment, because I'm sure everybody that decided to take part in this really risked a lot. But it became an experience. And I think that that is the core of why Grace Medical is standing, to make a difference in people's lives, in families, in a community that is in such a need. You know, this world is so needing those helping hands. And when you hear the story like of Chris, I am moved, because these are people that would have said, well, just forget it then, if they wouldn't have had anywhere to go. They would have sat down and they would have given up. But because there were people that cared, people that understood, people that risked it all just to give that help. It's amazing. And how my family can celebrate life with me today is amazing. And as hard as it is, I'm usually not standing for this long. I will tell you the truth. I finished chemo last month. And I am so grateful after 6 months of enduring that. It's been such a journey. But I was thinking about missions today. And when you look at the word mission, it almost seems like when you hear about the movies Mission Impossible, it's always something that's very challenging. It's something that you risk it all. You sacrifice. And that's what missions are all about. It's about a commitment to do something out of the ordinary. It's a special assignment. It's a task. It's something that you take on to confront that maybe nobody else will, but you decide to stand for something. And I say today, this is not a mission impossible. It's mission possible. Because with Christ, all things are possible. What everybody else sees as something that can't be done, well, God says, I can do it. But he just needs a couple good volunteers. And I think that we are the right people. And I think that everybody sitting here today, you could have been doing anything else tonight. And what a great honor it is that you chose to be here. Nobody obligated you, but your heart wanted to be here. And for us to have this opportunity to speak and say, this has affected our lives, this has to continue going on, your missions does not have to go very far. Just right here in Orlando. There's such a great need, and it all begins here. So I encourage you today. One of my wonderful stories that I was sharing just about a month ago in Mark chapter 8:22. I'm not going to preach, but I really want to share this. There was a father, and he had a son who was suffering from seizures, and there was such a great need. And as you see this family, the father fighting just for his son to get the help that he needs, That's how many families are just wanting the help for their loved ones. And they come to everybody and everything, any resource they can find. And they're screaming out, who's going to help me? Who's going to help me? And so finally, he comes to the right person in the right time. And he begins to speak to Jesus. And one of the things he says in verse 22 is, but if you can do anything, have compassion on us and help us. And so there's so many voices out there that are crying out and looking at Grace Medical and saying, but if you can do anything, have compassion on us and help us. And how many of you are hearing that? When you hear that, then you partake of something like Grace Medical. And that is something that is so great because there is so much compassion and their hearts are in it for the right reason. You can go anywhere and get medical care and you can pay out of your pocket. But I'd rather be somewhere where people make you feel that you are important and that you do make a difference and that the love of God is shared and is felt. And I truly have felt that with my family and my loved ones. And so today, as I share that with you, it is my honor to be here. Not just on my birthday, any day, just to say thank you, first and foremost, to God. And also to Grace Medical, who has been the real hands of God in this world to help and to extend that love and that compassion to those that are really needing it. And so thank you today for just listening and hearing us out. And we are just, on behalf of my family, we are so grateful. Thank you for your help this far, and I know that this is going to continue to go even further. So thank you so much.